Alrighty, guys. Let's go over this showdown slate for tomorrow. We got a doozy here. We got, Buffalo, extremely high-powered offense. We have New England, extremely high-powered defense. Got a doozy here. I apologize about my phone, guys. I will throw that away. So got a doozy here. Last week went well for me once again. We have had, I believe, I am 11-1 on the season on profitable main slates. So I have had an extremely successful NFL season so far. Been extremely profitable. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. If you're watching this on YouTube, please come over to this subreddit. It is called DF Sports. I make posts for NBA. I make posts for NFL. You can ask me whatever you want, questions, etc. I make updates throughout the day with news that comes out. And as you can see here, people talk strategy. People ask me questions. I always respond to you. So if you ever want to talk strategy, if you ever need help on pivots, please come over to the subreddit. You can ask me whatever you want. I will always reply to you. If you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so through Reddit chat, or you can do so through Twitter at Tory Langley 1992. So let's go over this slate real quick. It's going to be a short one. I think right now we'll go over captains first. So I think clearly there's three or four captains that stand out to me the most, and they're going to be the optimal captains. I don't think you really get too cute on this slate. I think you just pick one of these three guys and call it a day. So personally, for me right now, the optimal captains that I'm looking at and the captains that I'm willing to roster right now, Josh Allen's the first, Stephon Diggs is the second, Ramondre Stevenson is the third. I don't have a ranking on which I prefer point per dollar. Since everyone's priced up the most, I might prefer Stevenson point per dollar, but those are the captains that I'm going to be looking at for tomorrow. Some GPP captains that I do like quite a bit are going to be, nobody's playing Dawson Knox. He's going to be low owned in flex and in captain, so I don't hate that for GPPs. And I don't hate Nelson Aguilar captain, especially if Myers is out. Just we want ceiling a captain. Nelson Aguilar is not going to have 8 targets again. He's not going to have this type of game again. But Nelson Aguilar is a guy that they're going to target downfield. This will help if Myers is out. So I don't hate Aguilar captain, especially if Myers is out. But I mainly want to be focusing on Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Ramondre Stevenson captain. I'm going to be playing 20 max and 150 max tomorrow. I'm basically going to have my captain exposure between these three and nothing else really. And then obviously the other one, I'll have some Gabe Davis captain just because his ceiling is absolutely insane. If we see it here, caught 3 catches, one for 170 yards, 35 DraftKings points. They'll target him downfield as well. His ceiling is just immense. So I feel like you have to have some interest in Gabe Davis captain, but yeah, like I said, mainly optimal. I want to play optimally. I think Josh Allen, Diggs, Ramondre Stevenson are definitely the way to go at captain here. One sec. Now we'll go over the team by team breakdown. I just wanted to go over my captains real quick for tomorrow. Let's go over this. On the Buffalo side, so clearly, I don't have to go over why Josh Allen is a phenomenal play. Same thing with Luka Doncic on the showdown slate tomorrow. It's the same thing here. Josh Allen just looks phenomenal. I find it extremely hard to fade him. If you want to play him in the captain, be my guest. There are days where he has 30 plus fantasy points, and if you're going to be, excuse me, excuse me. If you're going to be playing Josh Allen in the captain, I would at least pair him with 2 pass catchers. And the pass catchers that I would pair him with are Diggs, Gabe Davis. You can throw McKenzie in there. And then I don't even hate throwing a Shakir in there. Or throwing in, I think that'd be it. Those would be the guys that I would throw in with Josh Allen captain. Because when he has a day where he's putting up 30 to 39 fantasy points, he's throwing it for multiple touchdowns. So I personally think you should be playing, if you're going Josh Allen captain, you should target 2 wide receivers to pair with him. But I don't have to go over why Josh Allen is a great play on the slate, especially at $12,200. His floor and ceiling is just absolutely insane. So I do like Josh Allen a lot. Same thing with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is averaging, about 9 targets a game. His floor and ceiling is just insanely high. Obviously, it's a tough spot here, but it's a showdown slate. Fading Diggs is extremely, extremely risky. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to play both Diggs and Allen. It might be tricky to do that, but 4 plus ceiling combo, absolutely insane, especially the ceiling. I like the price at 11.6K, so I think Diggs looks great. Gabe Davis is solely your ceiling play. The good thing with Gabe Davis and the other wide receivers for Buffalo, they're going to be on the field basically the whole game. Like, Isaiah played 56, the possible 77 snaps. Diggs, 60 of the possible 77. Gabe played 70 of the possible 77. So they're going to be on the field for most of the game. So Gabe Davis, more of your boomer bust play at $8,000. Now, if he is going to be extremely popular, I think it's a spot where I'd like to fade him in GPPs just because he has a very, very low floor. But the ceiling, obviously, is there when he gets targeted downfield and has those big catches for touchdowns. So, intrigued by Gabe Davis for GPPs. Devin Singletary at 7K, I think is too cheap. I don't know why he's 7K. He's clearly taken over the number 1 role here for the running back situation in Buffalo. Obviously, they don't run the ball a lot, but he's playing a ton of snaps. Excuse me. He's playing a ton of snaps, and he's running a lot of routes. That's what we want from our running backs. He played 60 of the possible 77 snaps. He ran a route on 35 of those and only blocked on 7. So that's what we want from our running backs. Now, he's probably not going to get over like 3 to 4 to 5 targets, but as long as he's running routes, that's what we want. It gives him the opportunity to get targeted. So I do like Devin Singletary at 7K. I think that price tag's too cheap. Isaiah McKenzie had a huge game last game. I think if he is going to be popular, I will gladly look elsewhere. I don't expect him to get 10 targets again, and I don't expect him to go for 22 fantasy points again at an elevated price tag of 6.8K. So I think McKenzie is fish food, especially if he's going to get massive ownership. I'd much rather just go to a pivot in Dawson Knox, who, yeah, probably doesn't have as high of a ceiling. Probably doesn't even have, might have around the same floor. Maybe Dawson Knox is a little bit of a higher floor, but definitely doesn't have as high of a ceiling. But ownership is extremely important when you're trying to win tournaments. You don't want to be duped as much as possible. So, yeah, if give me Knox as a pivot at completely low ownership. I don't think Knox is going to be popular at all tomorrow. So I do like Knox for GPPs. Not gonna. I mean, the defense is. You guys know what I'm gonna say here. If they're gonna be popular, I don't want anything to do with them. If they're gonna be low owned, I think they're good plays. Specifically Buffalo. On a lower total game. Kickers are good plays on lower total games. I've explained this many times, but I believe the total is like 42.5 or something, 44.5. So it's not extremely high, but not super low either. Right in the middle. So I like both the kickers here. Lower total game equals more opportunity for the kicker to be optimal. And we know how high powered an offense Buffalo is. That just gives Tyler Bass way more opportunities to score points. So do like the kickers here. Looking at other running back snap counts, James Cook played 14 total snaps, running around on 10. In play for large field tournaments, going to be extremely hard for me to get to him at that price tag. Other tight ends, I don't think I can do it at their respective prices, so I'll probably be looking elsewhere. But there is a dart play that I do like here, and that is Khalil Shakir at the flat Stone Cold Mint at $200. Just a dart, just for large field GPPs. He's going to be out there. I'd assume he plays around 20% of the snaps. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. So I think he's a viable dart at the flat minimum. Let's go over New England now. So Ramondre Stevenson, I think, just looks phenomenal. I expect New England to be down in this game, which only helps him. Harris is out, which helps him even more. So he's just going to be a target monster. I think we can expect 10 plus targets from him in this game. Maybe not 10, maybe like 7 to 10. Probably around 10 or so rush attempts. So 20 plus touches, in my opinion. They're at home. Definitely not favored, but they are at home, which definitely helps Stevenson as well. So I love Stevenson. I think he looks great. Mac Jones, going to be low owned. Usually I would say at 9.4K for a quarterback. I think it's too cheap. So I like Mac Jones as a contrarian play for GPPs. Got to keep an eye on the Jacoby Meyer news. Taking a look at the snap counts last game. Jacoby Myers obviously only played 16 snaps, was dealing with an injury. And then we saw Kendrick Bourne play 38. Tyquan Thornton played 20. Nelson Aguilar played 43. So if Jacoby Myers plays, if then statement here, if Jacoby Myers plays and is not limited, 7.2K is too cheap. He's the clear number one wide receiver here. He gets targeted a boatload. So I would really like Jacoby if he plays. I mean, we don't get limit on a snap count. Parker at 5.6K, just a GPP play for me. I don't think we need to go there at that price tag. Aguilar at this price tag, same thing I said about the captain thing. Boomer bust, he can kill you at this price. Going to be an ownership thing for me. If he's going to be popular, I want absolutely nothing to do with the Aguilar. If he's going to be low owned, then yeah, I would definitely have some Aguilar just because he has a pretty high ceiling when he's running those deep routes. Hunter Henry at 4.6K, I think is just overpriced. He's not going to score. I thought he scored 2 touchdowns here, but he will run routes. He played 39 of the possible 55 snaps, run a route in 31 of those. That's what you want out of your tight ends. You don't want them blocking, you want them running routes. So I'm fine with Henry, but I prefer other options. Kickers, good plays. As you know, Nick Folk, going to be a solid play here. My only issue is New England goes down big, and then they're forced to go for it on 4th down. So I definitely prefer the Bills kicker. Patriots D, yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't think anyone's going to click on their name, so I'm fine with it. Now the other wide receiver situation. So Kendrick Bourne, obviously, I believe gained snaps because of the Jacoby injury. I think he'll play regardless. But if Jacoby's out, you can definitely consider Kendrick Bourne. And then Tyquan Thornton at $400 played 20 snaps, ran around on 13. Just a dart. I definitely do prefer Shakir to Thornton. And I believe, where's Jonnu? Jonnu at $1,400. Where is he? He played 16 total snaps, ran around on 9. I don't think we need to go there. And I think that's it, guys. I hope you guys had a good day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.